This short video will bring you up to date with developments at the Falconer home, with news on Simon, the impact of COVID-19, the generator, and important news regarding necessary repairs to the roof of the main house. Please feel free to use this video in your churches and midweek groups, and share the link with those who you feel may be interested in the work of the home. Simon is continuing to recover well following his spell in hospital with pneumonia. Since returning from hospital, he, along with several others, have had a bout of malaria. We have sent out many mosquito nets and repellent bracelets for the protection of children and staff. Simon still awaits his hernia operation. Zambia is experiencing a sudden spike in cases of COVID-19. There have been over 2,000 deaths reported to date, though this is likely to be greatly underreported in rural areas. Whereas it used to be the case that the virus was largely confined to urban areas, it is now evident that it is becoming more prevalent in rural parts. When Simon was hospitalised in February, he was not admitted to Kabulamema Hospital because of the number of COVID patients there. Less than 150,000 vaccines have been administered in Zambia, equating to less than 1% of the population having received one dose. The number who have received a second dose is so small as to not show up on published data, making Zambia one of the 10 least vaccinated countries in the world per head of population. Please continue to pray for protection from the virus for all at Kabulamema. Here in the UK, once COVID restrictions have been lifted, Neil will be resuming deputation visits to churches and midweek groups. If you'd like him to come and speak to your church or group, please get in touch. In recent years, the condition of the roof on the main house has been a concern. Temporary repairs have been carried out, with roof panels taken from the veranda to be used elsewhere, and a sealant applied to cracks and holes. However, it has now become apparent that the whole roof needs to be replaced. This is clearly going to be a huge challenge for a variety of reasons. First, because the existing roof is believed to be asbestos, so removal is a very hazardous task. Experts have been called in to advise on the safe completion of the project. The new roof will be made of tin roofing sheets, which will clearly be much safer and can be fitted relatively quickly. It has been advised that the wooden roof trusses will also need to be replaced with steel ones. These steel trusses can be purchased off the shelf rather than having to be manufactured specifically for this building, so it should speed up the job. Alternative accommodation must be found on site for the children who live in the main house while the work is carried out. Some will be housed in the 2 roundels by the river and others in the various dormitories. Work is currently being carried out to get these ready. Time is of the essence, as the work on the roof needs to be completed before the beginning of the rainy season in October. Please pray for a speedy and successful completion of the task. The urgency of the roof replacement has meant that other projects have had to be put on hold, but the generator installation remains an important and necessary priority. Cable has been laid in trenches from the newly built generator house to the main house and other buildings, with more to lay when it has arrived at the home from here in Norfolk.
All right. Izundule, zundula waya yobe.
There is still work to do in completing the generator house, but we trust that the generator will be fully operational soon. A toilet block is currently being constructed behind the boys' dormitory. Here we can see the steel door frames waiting to be installed. A great deal of work has gone into establishing a vegetable garden so that crops can be grown to provide the relish which accompanies the shima.